very wise man once said to me that marketing is simply a mix of creativity plus maths. First is sexy, second is dull. Knowing your numbers might seem dull, but it can be the foundation for everything your marketing does. Let me give you an example. I had a chat last week with a very smart guy who's been paying around about £100 a lead from a lead generation service. Wasn't very happy with what he'd been getting. He'd had 110 leads, so he'd spent £11,000, and he'd only managed throughout the whole of last year to convert 3 of them. He was having a right old whinge and whine about the poor quality of the leads that he was having to get and sift through. I said, you know, those 3 sales, how much were they actually worth? Turns out they were worth £320,000. You're honestly telling me you wouldn't pay 11 grand and wade through 107 fairly poor quality leads to get 3 little gems that are worth over £300,000? Light bulb went on. I know it's obvious, but I'm telling you this story, people just don't do it. So many people are over keen, way over enthusiastic to embrace the mantra, oh, the quality of the leads is a bit rubbish. It's dumb. It's only done by people that don't understand their numbers. And the reason they don't understand their numbers is because they're not engaging with them with the right level of frequency. Because statistically, most businesses in the country only look at their numbers probably, once a year? They get their annual accounts and they usually get them from their accountant 6 or 7 or 8 months after the year end. Hold that thought for a minute. Some progressive, switched on business owners will get their monthly management accounts as well. That's really important, especially if you're on a high growth trajectory. So those people looking at their numbers at least 12 times a year. And then we've got the really switched on business owners. Those typically are the ones making the biggest, fastest, most progress because they've got a weekly scorecard. The power of a scorecard, it really keeps you focused on a weekly basis. And if you're looking at your numbers on a weekly basis, well, you get 52 chances to tweak the tiller and adjust your course. Of course, if you have a daily scorecard, well then you can look at your numbers every single day, and that means you can pay attention and tweak the tiller and change course 365 times a year if you want. What I've discovered over the years though is one of the key elements in properly getting to understand your numbers is the frequency with which you interact with them. I mean, just think about it. The logic's pretty clear. You get your numbers once a year. They're not shaping your business very much. Get your numbers 12 times a year, well, at least you're in the game. You can do something about it before the end of the year. Start to get a weekly scorecard in place, then you've got 52 chances to make sure you understand what's happening with your numbers. You can tweak the tiller, adjust the course, make sure you are still on course. Or with a real live daily scorecard, it can be electronic or on a whiteboard, it starts to mobilize and focus your team every day. So without being too preachy, I really do want to encourage you to start engaging with your numbers more. Whether it's your turnover and your margin and your sales, the number of leads or your conversion rates. Whatever the key numbers are that were responsible for driving your business to where you want it to be, because the higher the frequency, the better the results. I'll leave you with this thought. You can't win the game if you don't know the score. Do you know you're 1-0 up? Are you losing? Are you winning by 5-0? Unless you know the score on a daily or a weekly basis, then what does that success look like? Okay, thank you.